Man, I am pumped. I just watched a video on YouTube from Steve Freeman, and he told me all I have to do is spend $3,400 and I can be a platinum selling producer. Where do I sign up? Give me a freaking break. This is what's wrong with the internet. Videos like this is what's wrong with YouTube. And I'm here to tell you, you do not need to spend $3,400 to win a Grammy. What you need to do is be talented and good at your craft. Not to mention know a bunch of famous people, probably. Anyways, this is ridiculous. I'm gonna walk through his video. I'm gonna give you my reaction to everything that he's saying. And I think it's total crap. This guy is what's wrong with YouTube. Dude, I'm really bothered by this. I mean, to say that you have to spend, first of all, a certain specific dollar amount, you have to buy exactly this gear. If you don't have the gear that he says, throw yours out, that's horrible advice. Don't listen to it. Man, I talk a lot in my videos about, hey, be careful what you listen to out there. I'm telling you, I'm gonna break down this video and exactly why I think it's total bollocks.
All right, boys and girls, in today's video, I'm gonna walk you through a $3,400 home studio that you could be winning Grammys with. Hey guys, and welcome back to another video. I'm Steve Freeman, hit songwriter, multi-platinum selling record producer. And what I wanted to do in this video is walk you through a total $3,400 home studio that other professional producers and songwriters are using to win Grammys. We're gonna talk about the interface that you need. We're gonna talk about microphone, we're gonna talk about monitors, and we're gonna talk about MIDI controllers and virtual instruments. Basically, just a couple of things that you need that's $3,400, and it's...
He says that like that's a tiny amount of money too. It's only $3,400. Well, what if you don't have $3,400? You know, does that mean that just give up? You've got no hope? Give me a break.
And it's exactly what top producers are using to win Grammys, like Phineas and Billie Eilish winning Record, Song, and Album of the Year with the setup exactly like what I'm about to show you for only $3,400.
Only $3,400. Look, Billie Eilish and her brother are stupid talented and they're creative. Okay, that's why they win Grammys, is because they're coming out with new sounds, new ideas, and it has nothing to do with how much money they spent. I mean, that's kind of the whole point of part of their popularity, is that they're not spending a bunch of money. But let's keep watching.
For many years, it's been a huge misconception that you need a multi-million-dollar studio, and you've got to have hundreds of thousands of dollars of outboard mic pre's and compressors and 48-channel consoles to be able to create the kind of music that tops the charts, both streaming and sales charts. It's just not true anymore.
Now that is true. So I think that Steve is trying to do a good thing here by saying, hey, look, you don't need multi-million-dollar studio, but you also don't need everything that this guy is about to tell us that we need to make a hit record. It's crap.
Luckily, because of technology, things have advanced. You don't even have to have a multi-million-dollar recording studio. Matter of fact, all you have to have is $3,400. Now, as I get started in going through these different
all you have to have is $3,400. You don't have to have experience. You don't have to have talent. You don't have to have good acoustics in your room. He doesn't talk once about, by the way, about acoustics in this room. And you could put $3,400 or $340,000 worth of gear in your room. And if your room sounds awful, what you're going to produce in that room is going to sound awful. Ugh.
Different elements and showing you the different dollar amounts for your home studio. I'm keeping in mind here, or assuming, that you already have a computer, whether that's a Mac or a PC. So I've not calculated the cost of a computer in here because I'm assuming most everybody that has a home studio probably already has a computer, okay? So that being said, let's talk about item number one, and I honestly think it is besides your computer, of course, is the most important decision you'll make as a producer and a home studio owner, and that is your interface. I gotta be honest with you, if you are not using the Universal Audio Apollo line of interfaces, you need to sell, get rid of, trash, anything else that you're using, and go with Universal Audio and the Apollo line of interfaces.
Did you hear what he just said? If you're not using that, you're not gonna be successful. I mean, what a commercial. I don't know if he's getting endorsed or not. Look, I'm so mad I can't even find the right words. Go out and get one of these Apollos and throw away whatever you have. It's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. If you don't have an Apollo, you just aren't going to be successful. Do you not see right through that? Like that's saying there's only one way to skin this cat and that's it and this is the way. That's so not true. You have to know, right? In your bones, you have to feel that that can't be accurate. Look, here. I don't use this anymore, but I did up until about a year ago. It's a cheap little $300 Presonus interface. I'm using a Focusrite Scarlet right now. It's the, what is it? The 18i20. Let's keep watching.
Now, for the purposes of the budget we're putting together today, which is $3,400, I want to talk about the new Universal Audio Apollo Twin X Duo. Now, why do you love Apollo so much? Why do you love Universal Audio, Steve? I'm going to tell you what Universal Audio has done as far as processing power when taking the load off of your PC or off of your Mac to be able to run simultaneous plugins. That combined with the Unison preamps, you don't need expensive mic pre's. You don't need expensive outboard compressors and EQs. All of that is built in, and when you buy one of the new Apollo interfaces, it comes with a plug-in bundle that's going to give you some of the best compressors and mic preamps that have ever been used on any recording in history. Plus, right now, Universal Audio has launched their new Luna DAW recording software. So let's say you don't have Pro Tools or you don't have Logic Pro. If you're on Mac, Luna is absolutely free.
If you take anything from his video, that's all you need to take. Luna's free. You don't need to spend money on a DAW to make a hit song.
It also comes packaged with tons of virtual instruments and all kinds of things to help you be creative right there inside Universal Audio's new Luna DAW. But back to the interface for just a second. This interface, we're going to round up. It's $900, $899, $900. This interface right here is what Post Malone is doing his vocals on. Halsey has done her vocals for her record. Billie Eilish, all of the vocals, everything was done through a Universal Audio Apollo Twin.
If you're Billie Eilish, you can sing on a 57 through a USB adapter into your laptop and it's gonna sound good. And after they put the freaking crap tons of reverb and delay and they layered 19 different layers of vocals, I promise you it's still going to sound good.
So you don't have to have these big 16-channel, 8-channel, even 6-channel interfaces. It's just not necessary.
What if you want to record a band? Is this now you can only make a hit record if you just have a singer-songwriter, hip-hop, whatever thing? What about the rock guys? What about jazz? What about classical? I mean, let's put everything in a box and that's it. You have to do this or you won't be successful.
You can do everything that producers like Louis Bell, myself, and artists like Billie Eilish and Post Malone and Halsey and Katy Perry, everybody else, through this little Universal Apollo Twin X Duo. It gives you the processing power that you need. It comes bundled with plugins that use the processing power built into the Apollo. It's not taxing on your computer. How many times, if you're using another interface, have you added 3 or 4 plugins onto a mix, or even when you're recording, and boom, increase HQ buffer size in Pro Tools?
First of all, it's HW buffer size. Okay. I have a video where I bought and built a Mac Mini that is completely roided out, and I probably spent $900 on that computer, which he's not counting. No, I think I spent $1,200 on that computer. I spent the amount of money to go out and buy an iMac or a nice PC, and I have 0 issues, 0 hardware buffer issues. I can put hundreds of tracks, hundreds of plugins. I have 0 issues. So the power of an Apollo might be nice for some with a really slow older computer, but if you have anything made in the last 3 or 4 years, your computer is so fast, you're not gonna have hardly any issues. And what you do have, you'll figure it out, you'll work around it, but you do not have to have an Apollo with DSP power in order to run 2 or 3 plugins. That's asinine.
Tools. I see it all the time, and it pisses me off every single time. That's why I went to the Apollo line of interfaces. It will not tax your computer. It will not slow your computer down and eat up all of your Mac or PC's memory trying to run those plugins.
It has limited DSP as well. I need to make sure that you understand that. When you buy an Apollo, you know, with DSP, or even if you have an external DSP thing with Apollo, whatever, it still has a limited amount of juice, and you can only put so many of their plugins because their plugins are so heavy on CPU that they require all of that. Go with the Slate bundle. The Slate Everything bundle has all the killer analog stuff that he's talking about, and it doesn't tax your computer at all. Like, I can put tons and tons of analog EQs and mic pre's and tape machines, all sorts of crap, and compressors, and it doesn't tax my computer. So I don't know what he's talking about.
It runs them natively through the processors on the Apollo Twin X, so it's not affecting your computer at all. And these plugins, by the way, you can monitor with them, or you can record directly with those plugins used in the software itself. It's absolutely amazing. So if you're using anything like an Apogee or a Focusrite or any of the other line of interfaces out there, you need to just get rid of them and go with the Apollo Twin X.
What you're doing is crap. What you're doing doesn't matter unless you're doing what he says. That's what he just said.
You are going to increase your productivity in your workflow by so much. It's going to save you so much time and headache and not wanting you to throw your interface or your computer out the window. It's unbelievable. So for the backbone of your studio, your interface, look at the Universal Apollo Twin X Duo. It comes in at $900, and that's going to be the first thing that I'm going to say, and I'm going to recommend. Get that interface. The second thing we're going to talk about is microphones. Now, we could talk about thousands of different microphones out there. There's a lot of people out there that will tell you, oh, you've got to have this $3,500 Neumann U87, or you've got to have a classic U47, or one of these Sony microphones. It's $10,000 that I can't even believe. I bought one and sold it 3 weeks later because I didn't even like the way that it sounded. Stop watching music videos and determining what microphone you need to have in your studio based on what the superstars look like they're using in their music videos, because I can promise you that's not what they're using in the studio. What I'm going to recommend for you comes in at $400, and that is the Shure SM7B. Now, you're probably sitting back and going, Steve,
The SM7B is a fine microphone. There's nothing wrong with the Shure SM7. It's good. He's going to go on later on and talk about how Michael Jackson used it, and that's true. There's lots of people using the SM7. It's also known as a really good broadcast mic. A lot of YouTubers, a lot of bloggers, vloggers, you know, they're all using the SM7B. That's fine. But he said, you know, don't listen to the people saying go out there and buy a Neumann or go out and buy the $10,000 Sony mic. Well, are you, again, and I'm not endorsed by Slate Digital. I wish I was, but I'm not. Get the VMS. Their microphone, their virtual microphone can be any of those, and just go Google it, Slate VMS, and look at all the Grammy Award winning engineers and producers who are saying, I can't believe that this thing sounds exactly like my $10,000 microphone or my $5,000 microphone. So yeah, I guess you could get a 7B, or you could spend a little bit more than a 7B and get the VMS and have like ridiculous amounts of options that are all amazing.
It's great on just about any style vocalist. It's great for rap. It's great for country. Jason Aldean uses a Shure SM7.
Another thing, the 7B. What if you're wanting to mic an acoustic guitar? The 7B is an awful mic to mic an acoustic guitar. Again, going back to the Slate, just use that and pull a 414 or a U47 or whatever you'd want. You know, what if you really could have any mic you wanted? Well, I'm saying that you can. So the 7B, it's like, yeah, it's okay for vocals, but that's it. I mean.
Now let's talk about one area I am going to have you drop a little bit of money on, and this is going to take up almost half. Matter of fact, it does take up half of our entire budget of what we're talking about for our $3,400 Grammy-winning home studio. You have to have access to sound libraries and virtual instruments and MIDI controllers. What I'm going to recommend for you is the complete Ultimate 12 package with a complete controller, the S49, that will allow you to have a MIDI controller for any other.
Okay, virtual instruments. Virtual instruments are a big deal. They're important if you're doing that kind of music, okay? You may not be doing that kind of music. You may be doing drums, bass, guitar, and vocals, which means you don't need to spend $1,700 on a controller and the complete Ultimate 12 package. How about there's some stuff that comes with Pro Tools for free. Logic, it's only $300 and it comes with so many VIs that it's ridiculous. Luna, like he said, it's free. It comes with tons. Look, he's also going to talk about how you go and listen to the radio and listen to all the hits, and you can reproduce anything that you want if you only had complete Ultra version 12. Well, first of all, why do you want to copy what's out there? Come up with your own sounds. Get creative. Find the $100 plugin that doesn't sound good right out of the box and use some imagination, use some creativity, experiment, and make your own new, fresh sounds. I mean, there's lots of virtual instruments out there that are free, that come with Logic, come with Pro Tools. Waves has some, Slate's got them. I mean, I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry that there's people out there like this that are telling you this is what you have to do. You got to spend all this money. You see that controller right there? That's my controller. And it wasn't part of a $1,700 package. I bought it on mono price for $99. And when I need to do soft synth stuff, virtual instruments that needs keys, I use it. And it works. And the sound that comes out is exactly the same.
Oops, as producers. That's being a computer programmer, okay? If you want to be a real producer, learn how to use the real tools. And I'm telling you, with your home studio setup, so far, we've got the Universal Apollo.
Yeah, learn how to use your tools. Don't learn how to sell the gear that you already have that you could be making good music with so that you can get this list of really good gear so that then now you can learn those tools and then become a good engineer or songwriter or producer. Do you see the holes in this?
Monitors. Monitors like microphones. There's a lot of options out there and a lot of people have a lot of different opinions. But what I'm going to recommend for you is just the good old standard Yamaha 8-inch powered monitors. I'm telling you, go back to Phineas and Billie Eilish. He's using these Yamaha monitors, and it did fine, and it won them 5 Grammys.
Okay, monitors. Yeah, you can get the Yamahas for $400. I think they're $400 each, not a pair. I could be wrong. Either which way, you could spend $100, you could spend $100,000, like he says. But he's also saying, you know, you don't need Barefoots. If you've got those, then use those. That's fine if you already have them. Barefoots like start at $3,500 for a pair. So if you've got Barefoots, you probably aren't watching this video because you already know what you're doing and you can afford it, and that's fine. But let me just make this huge, important point. No matter what monitors you are using, if your room acoustics are bad, it won't matter. Put a $100,000 pair of monitors in a room that has horrible reflections, standing waves, and it sounds like an echo chamber in there. It doesn't matter what speakers you have. It's gonna sound like crap. You'd be better off with a pair of crappy Bose speakers or something. I mean, headphones at that point, and I hate mixing on headphones. I hate mixing on headphones. You gotta get your acoustics right. I mean, that's just the most important thing in your room, besides you and your ears, is the acoustics, not what interface you're using.
These monitors also come in very affordably at only $400 for the pair. So when you add everything up, let's take a quick look. You've got the universal audio, your microphone, the Shure SM7B, the complete Ultimate 12 bundle. Don't overspend.
Don't overspend. $3,400 is all you have to put into it. I would argue that you could put together a home studio for $350. There's videos out there showing you. Is it necessarily the gear that you're gonna keep using as you become better and better? No, you're gonna enhance the equipment once you have learned how to engineer. You've got to know how to get good gain structure, how to even use a compressor. I don't care if it taxes your computer or not. If you don't know how to use it, you're not doing it right. How to EQ things, how to find problems and fix them, knowing which tools, how to get good sounding effects and reverbs and delays, how to layer vocals, how to write a freaking good song. All right? Spend time on that. And then when you've mastered that, you can spend a little bit more money on some gear. But a bad engineer can make great equipment sound horrible, and a great engineer can make bad equipment sound amazing. Period.
Into your home studio to have a Grammy Award winning studio. Some of you may already have some of this in your studio already. You may already have a pair of monitors that you really like from Focal or MkII or Barefoot or JBL. You may love the monitors you have. Well, just subtract that $400. Put that $400 towards the $900 of the new interface for the Twin X Duo. You may already have a microphone that you absolutely love. You can mix and match any of this stuff. The key here is that you can see very simply that for just $3,400, you can have a top-notch, top-quality studio, just like any other multi-million-dollar studio.
The key here is what he says, is that you can have a top-notch studio for $3,400. No. The key here is learn how to mix, learn how to record, learn how to engineer, and you will be able to know how to engineer. Oh my gosh, I'm so upset. If you are liking the content that this guy is putting out on his channel, then first of all, I don't even know why you're watching this video, because you should go watch his video and like his stuff. But if you are picking up what I'm throwing down, it's simple. It's you don't need $3,000 or $2,000 or even $1,000 to make a great song, to be a good producer, to have a Grammy-worthy song. Just because your song sounds amazing and you have all this gear, you think you're just gonna be handed a Grammy? No, of course not. Of course not. One of the things that you'll get if you watch videos that I make on my channel, it's that there's a ton of ways to do stuff. Find what works good for you and get creative and get to making music. It's all about the music. It is not all about the gear. And that's what this video says, is it's all about the gear. And it's not. Look, there's other channels out there. Hopefully they don't care that I mention them. Produce Like a Pro, right? Warren Hewitt. He would be the first to tell you, you don't have to have all this gear to make a great song. You have to know how to use the gear and you have to have a great song. I mean, geez Louise. Graham from the Recording Revolution. I mean, he made a whole career, he still is, talking about how you don't need to do what this guy is saying. So go subscribe to the Recording Revolution, follow Graham. Go subscribe to Produce Like a Pro and follow Warren. I mean, hopefully you're liking what I'm saying and maybe you'll subscribe to my channel too. You'll see more videos like this. Well, not really, because I don't really just bash people for videos. But what I do is I show you how to use the gear that you have, how to maximize what you already have to get the best results possible, how to be a better engineer, a better producer, a better musician, and you don't need gear to be a better engineer. That rhymed. That's all I have to say, guys. You know what? I was thinking about what am I gonna do for a video this week? I've got a lot of things cooking and I'm working on some series and it's gonna take time to really do a high production value that I'm going for. And I'm just browsing YouTube because I'm always trying to learn, and I come across this video and I said, stop, I have to make a video about this. I have to rebut almost 90% of what this guy is saying. I feel I owe it to you. I owe it to music to say you don't need to spend a bunch of money, and he thinks $3,400 isn't a bunch of money. I do. You don't need to spend a bunch of money to be worthy of winning a Grammy. Look, if you liked this video, if you enjoyed watching it and you got something out of it, then consider subscribing to my channel and leave a comment below. If you hated this video and you think that I'm a total idiot, then give it a thumbs down and leave a comment below saying how stupid I am. But that's not gonna stop me from telling you that it's all about the music. It doesn't matter what gear you have, it matters that you know how to use it. It doesn't matter which compressor plugin you have, it matters that you know how to use it. And EQ. It doesn't matter which microphone you have. It matters, do you have a good song? Is it a good arrangement? That's what's gonna make it worthy of winning a Grammy. I'm sorry for videos like this that are out there. I'll see you. If you like this video, then click that like button, I appreciate it. And subscribe to the channel and help support Sidoti Sound. And click that bell if you want to be notified when I release new videos. And of course, you can find me on all sorts of social media, so be sure to check that out. If you'd like to work with me on an upcoming project, then make sure to visit SidotiSound.com for more information. All right, guys, thanks a lot.